one of the finest waterfront properties in South Florida, the ultimate private island of Privé.
I'm Stephen G., the owner and founder of the design team at Interiors by Stephen G., and we are what would be called a turnkey solution. We design it, we render it, we install it anywhere in the United States. The beauty of Privé is that every apartment runs east to west, so you're surrounded by water.
Stephen's clients wanted to combine 2 units into one. He gave them a seamless design with a double dose of luxury. And we're going to check that out next on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. Today we're touring a beautiful condo at the exclusive island of Privé. This luxurious home is actually 2 units combined into one. Let's see how Stephen tackled this project and created a cohesive design. This double unit has 7,000 square feet with 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and a powder room. The layout of this condo has been completely reimagined. You would never know they were separate units. It's an amazing transformation. Hi, Stephen. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project.
Nice to be here again.
We are here with Stephen G. from Interiors by Stephen G., checking out this amazing condo at Privé at Island Estates. Stephen, we're here in the great room right now, and this is quite a great room.
We are dealing with 7,000 square feet of absolute luxury, not your normal oceanfront condo. The owner does a lot of entertaining, and we made the room work basically around some amazing sculpture, amazing seating from Italy.
So let's jump in and kind of talk about the great features of this space, and there are many. Behind us, this beautiful millwork and the backlit niches.
Art and sculpture becomes an integral part of anybody's home. You know, it's
Absolutely.
What I would call the lady of the house, her jewelry and handbag and shoes.
It's finishing pieces.
Right. Without that, you really have nothing but furniture and great lighting. So we had so much space to deal with that we actually bumped out the entire wall, and we actually built these onyx backlit niches. Yeah. And it takes you to a place where it just says, oh my God.
And I love that it also brings in a little bit of color. We have a very beautiful neutral palette. Got a little bit of that blue popping in, and then this amber, which brings out the gorgeous millwork.
Yes. So the millwork really becomes predominant as an accent, as you'll see as we walk through the apartment. Why don't we sit down and get comfortable?
Well, this looks quite like a comfortable sofa. Tons of seating, and like you were saying, pretty much not a bad seat in the house.
Usable and functional is everybody's importance as far as how you live in an apartment.
Yes.
This happens to be a line of product from Italy called Cipriani. Not Cipriani like,
not
the,
like
restaurant.
the restaurant. No.
Right.
Do not want to confuse
Cipriani.
that.
The comfort is critical.
Yeah, it's quite comfortable.
Yeah. And these are not cushions that a year from now will look like this.
Absolutely.
Or the fabric is going to gather.
I also love the way, again, everything is low profile. You got some varying heights on these ottomans here, which are so cute. I think the circular shape kind of gives a soft feel.
Warmth. You know, not everything needs to be square. We have square end tables. You know, our coffee tables from South America are square. But if you notice the swivel chairs and the ottomans, they have that softness and that radius just to take the room to a different place. Remember, this is not a model apartment. People live here,
yes.
And it needs to be home.
Luxury and livable,
yeah,
all in
100%.
one. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we check out one of the coolest features of this great room. When you're starting your home improvement project, you should always think about an in-home consult. Find out why coming up next. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we're here with Stephen G. from Interiors by Stephen G., touring an amazing condo at Privé Island Estates. Stephen, we are continuing our tour with this beautiful bar. The living room in this spacious great room expands into one of the coolest spaces of this home. The table height bar is not only luxurious, but designed with comfort in mind. First of all, this is a much lower bar than we're normally used to. It's table height.
Today, the high bar, which many people still like, it depends on the space that we're dealing with,
Yes.
the room. In this case, because the great room is so big, we wanted the TV to be able to be watched and seen by everybody that sits in the great
So you
room.
could see it from all the way back at the sofa,
Yes.
or right here.
So what we've done is we've built dining room height. So you could eat at it, you could drink at it, you could sit and have a conversation with somebody, but everybody could enjoy it because of the fact that we are low. We picked up the onyx from the niches, so we pull the room together a bit, and it's all, of course, underlit. And as you're sitting on an amazing swivel chair.
Very comfortable.
So ladies can sit at the bar and be comfortable. A gentleman can sit at the bar and be comfortable. And if there was a lot of intermingling, you could turn around and speak to the people.
Very conversational,
Right.
easy.
So the whole room comes together and works for a lifestyle. It's not just pretty furniture.
Right. This is a great entertaining space, but from what I understand, it was once two different condos.
Every unit at Prive goes east to west. So you have water on both sides. So in reality, this would have been two, call it 3,500 square foot units. The division would have basically been from sort of the column that way.
Well, the combination of the two floor plans into one great space is really stunning and creates such a beautiful great room. And we are going to check out more of the details of this entertaining space as soon as we see what Tat Granata from Florida Home Improvement Associates has for us today. Tat, when people are ready to finally get their windows changed out, the doors changed out, what is the first thing they should be thinking about?
Absolutely, the first thing they should do is have an in-home consultation. It's imperative when you're trying to make this big of a decision.
Now, in your industry experience, what makes for a great in-home consult? Some key takeaways.
Really key takeaway, especially from the homeowner's perspective, is to get as much out of it as possible, ask as many questions as possible. When we're talking about things like hurricane windows or impact glass, there's so many different variations and types of glass and frames. So really understand exactly what your goals are. Are you just trying to protect from a hurricane, or do you want to also at the same time make the home more energy efficient? So you really want to ask the most questions you can and get as much out of that consultation as possible, and information is key.
Okay, great. Now, any specific questions they should be asking?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, and one is something that a lot of people don't consider is the actual contractor or the company that's going to be doing that project for you, and how important that is in the process. I mean, you're going to talk a lot about windows and installation and certainly fitting it into your budget, but somebody's ultimately going to be responsible for helping you with those decisions, and also responsible if there's something that should go wrong, they're going to want to take care of it for you. So finding the right company and the best company for the homeowner is really important as well.
So Tat, take us through a typical in-home consultation.
The very first thing we like to do when we meet with homeowners is, first of all, identify exactly what their goals are, like their number one priority as the change in the project. In this case, if we're talking about hurricane windows, is it protection from a storm or possibly intrusion or maybe energy efficiency? So we really want to identify exactly what the number one goal is. Walk around the home, try to get a better understanding about what's in there currently and what they'd like to have changed out, and then spend as much time as possible to show the homeowners all the different types of products that potentially are available, pros and cons of everything, so that the homeowner is making the best decision for their home and their family.
So Tat, once someone's ready to start thinking about that in-home consult, how do they contact you?
They can contact us real easily by reaching out to us at fhaproducts.com.
Well, it's great having you here with us today. And when you're thinking about windows and doors now, you've got a little bit more info for that. So I want to continue talking about the details of this space. First of all, the flooring choice, a huge, large-scale porcelain tile?
Yes.
Tell us about that choice.
Porcelain has definitively been the choice of 99% of developers, clients, because of its ability to be zero maintenance.
Yes, the durability is great.
This is a 6-foot Italian porcelain. We only use Italian porcelain. They are probably the best manufacturers of porcelain in the world. But again, the reason that people love it is because it is a damp mop. There's no chemicals, there's no buffing, there's no scratching, there's no chipping. Spill red wine, ketchup, mustard, grandchildren could spill grape juice, and it's just a damp cloth, and it comes right off.
So continuing on with cool tile, in the powder room, we have some pretty cool wall tile going on there.
Yeah, it's done in glass. In this case, we have the LED backlit mirror hanging on the glass wall. So
mirror on mirror, but
yes,
still very cool and different.
Because the lit mirror is clear mirror. Everything else has a little detail to it.
And the pattern.
So all we needed to do was have an electrical outlet in the back. And the toughest part is really drilling into the glass tile and not breaking it when you have to hang the mirror.
It's so delicate.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So our team's been doing it for years, and thank God nothing broke.
You've got that down.
Yes.
Coming up next, we check out a square-shaped dining room designed for easy flow of conversation. Do you remember the last time you moved? Moving can be such hard work, but there is a way to make it easier by hiring a professional moving company. And we're here today with Good Greek Moving and Storage to find out how. So we're here today with Spiro from Good Greek Moving and Storage. Spiro, what is going on here today?
What goes on every day at Good Greek Moving and Storage? It's moving day. Lots of boxes, lots of furniture, but as you can see, we're taking all the necessary precautions to wrap everything inside the home before we move it. And then of course, when we get to the destination, we'll unwrap everything inside the new home.
Now, is it helpful if a homeowner sometimes wants to pack a few things on their own, or is it better if you guys just take care of it all?
You know, if you have any personal items, we always recommend you pack those in advance. But as far as fragiles and specialty items, I recommend leaving that to the professionals.
Now, when someone is preparing for move, what are some helpful suggestions for that?
Well, it's a good time to purge. No reason to pay to ship items, even if it's across town, if you're not going to use them, right? And then, of course, being organized, preparing in advance, planning ahead. You should plan your move anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks in advance, depending on whether it's a local or a long distance. And then if you are going to do any packing, make sure it's done before the movers get there.
In terms of things that are very fragile and certain items, what are the extra precautions that you take on stuff like that? Is there anything specific?
Yeah, so we'll make sure that we wrap everything with ample amount of packing paper, and then of course the way to pack. You got to know what kind of box to use. Believe it or not, the size of the box does correlate with what it is that you're putting into it. We're fully licensed, fully insured, but more importantly, all of my men are professional movers. In other words, they're furniture handlers. They're professional packers. We don't outsource that service, by the way.
Very important.
Many companies do subcontract part of their services. We do not. So the packing is in-house, the crating is in-house, the shipping, you name it, we do it all.
Spiro, how do people contact you guys?
Simply use your cell phone and dial ** Greek. That's ** GREEK, or go to GreekMoving.com.
And we are continuing our tour of this magnificent condo at Prive with Stephen G. from Interiors by Stephen G. We have seen most of the great room now. Now, right off of the great room, we're in the dining room.
Yes, we are.
In the center of this home, we find the square-shaped dining room. This elegant space is defined by the harmonious balance found in every angle and design element. This table is incredible. I mean, it's marble, it's huge. First of all, tell us about this.
Custom made, needless to say. All book matched and end matched marble. It took 8 men to get it into the apartment.
I was going to ask about bringing this in.
7 dollies. And it's very rare that you have a condominium that could seat as many people in a dining room. We have 12 chairs sitting here.
It feels like a beautiful restaurant.
Right. So again, we continue with our texture of millwork. We've added beveled mirror, which is very rarely seen anymore today.
Yeah, no, it's still,
right.
It gives such a beautiful, it's almost like an art piece.
Yes, and we top it off with great sconces with rock crystal. a great custom-made chandelier, which is
not mention this.
the jewelry of the space.
It really is.
And again, we're sitting here with dining room chairs from Cipriani. And
Incredibly comfortable. These
yes,
are.
and we've done them, of course, in leather. Leather is super durable. You wipe it off with a white cloth with some water. But Cipriani did something really amazing here.
The detail. that you're
Yeah.
gonna show us.
When you see the combination of the wood, but watch this.
Keeps the hands off,
You got it.
and it's a design detail.
So they think about how people live. They think about how great it is to use a product, and you don't
it's a
have
beautiful
to touch
detail,
it. And then
too.
we didn't want to bury the room in millwork.
Yeah.
So notice that there's glass in
The
between
fabric detail.
with a hemp, a natural hemp in between. It's fused in between two pieces of glass.
Beautiful.
So we have a little bit of transparency to see the hallways on either side, and it doesn't give us a claustrophobic
No,
sort
it
of a
feels
feel.
open, it's reflective,
Yep.
and it brings in all the beautiful textures. This
Yes.
entire great room, including the dining area, has such a mix of beautiful textures.
You know, I think the best is yet to come. I think our master suite is spectacular.
Well, can't wait to check that out, and we're going to have that coming up next. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing our tour of this gorgeous condo at Prive with Stephen G. from Interiors by Stephen G. The best space in this home has to be the spacious master suite. This room has it all, including amazing views.
You know, everybody is always concerned about what wall do I put the bed on in the master. And when we took a look at the floor plan, I said, this is just a natural where the bed must face the view.
Absolutely.
You wake up in the morning, you push a button, your shades go up, and here's the intercoastal, here's the ocean. But where am I going to watch TV from? It's just sit, put your feet up anywhere, lay in bed, push the button, the TV screen comes down, and you have your own movie theater in your bedroom. So
Media room slash,
yeah,
it's got everything.
So,
Bedroom.
and we did the rendering of the space. We did a very different continuous LED strip lights.
Love this. That carrying it through is beautiful. And I love the lighting. It just, there's no need for a big hanging fixture to block views
No.
or the TV.
And hanging
the job.
fixture is sort of dated. You know, you expect to see a light fixture on the ceiling in a master or in secondary.
Something a little different.
So it takes you to a very different place. We do a little darker wall covering, where many people today are doing more paint than wall covering.
I love wallpaper. As a designer, that's the ticket.
I
think it's
believe it just adds a warmth that paint can't give you.
great. 100%.
So let's make ourselves a bit more comfortable.
Yes, there's plenty of spaces here that are so comfortable. These ottomans are great, beautiful leather.
Yep.
It allows you to introduce another fabric, another
Yep.
texture.
Well, you know, we have the texture on the sofa.
Yes.
And then notice on the chairs, we have that leather detail at the top. So, you know, if somebody has hair and it's long and, you know, it doesn't mess up the fabric. And then you have the fabric for the comfort and little accent pillows.
You know, you kind of created your seated area to enjoy the view, but you did one continuous area rug. Tell us about the thought behind that, because sometimes people might think, cut it short, just have it around the bed area.
I think it cuts your room in half otherwise. So you try to make space always feel bigger.
Yes.
But more importantly, it just continues the flow of space.
And it gives that cozier feel as well. In a master bedroom, sometimes people want carpet. They don't necessarily want wall to wall sometimes. This is a great way to incorporate an area rug and also that warmth.
And the textures just bounce off each other like they
Yes.
were made for each other.
Absolutely.
As a designer that has done literally thousands of projects in my career, for me, it's never about the design. It never has been. It's always about the client and their happiness. And when a client is happy, that to me is the most successful design project you could have as a professional.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for allowing us to see your client's beautiful home. It was truly amazing to see how you can combine two already huge units into one spectacular space.
Thank you. And
Thank
it's
you.
a pleasure to be here on SoFlo Home Project again. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody.
Well, we loved having you and seeing your beautiful work. And to our viewers at home, we hope you enjoyed this beautiful tour. And we'll see you again next week for another episode of SoFlo Home Project, only on Local 10. If you missed any part of this makeover, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloHomeProject.com. You could also submit your design disasters, and you never know, we could be knocking on your door to help. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Next week on SoFlo Home Project, redesign for couples can be stressful, but not in this case. We meet a designer couple who joined forces to create the home of their dreams.